I offer my most loving and humble pranams at the divine lotus feet of my dear Mother Sai, Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba, embodiments of the divine Atma, embodiments of divine love, loving Sai Ram to one and all. Respected elders, specially invited guests, brothers and sisters, children, it is an absolute honor, a privilege and a joy to be amongst you in this absolutely beautiful, divine and inspiring retreat. Be happy always. And throughout this retreat, we have seen visible signs of the manifestation of this ocean of love and compassion, Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. The Bal Vikas children were so inspiring. Happiness is union with God. Swami says, be happy, make others happy, and God will be happy. Our true nature is Ananda, and this is why in many of his divine discourses, he addresses us as embodiments of divine Ananda. The humor of Sai has potency and values contained in it. When you look at Bhagwan's messages, there are three things that he does. He would sing, tell a story, and at times he will bring a little humor into the message. Even in the interviews, in the interaction with the students in the Darshan line, he will make humorous comments. Reflecting that we should be happy. He says, do not walk around with castor oil faces. Be happy always. I remember a group of Trinidadians once came to Puttaparthi, and there was a huge lady, as Swami was walking on the lady side. She got up and she said, Swami, interview. And then Swami said, where will you pass? Interview room? So small. When he reaches on the men's side, one of the gentlemen got up and said, Swami, when are you leaving? He said, ask the ladies. They know everything. Brothers and sisters, a rickshaw driver and a priest died and went to heaven. The gatekeeper asked the priest, what did you do in your life? He said, I preached the gospel of Christianity and I brought many into the fold of Christianity. He said, you see that old wooden broken down house, you go and live there. And then the rickshaw driver came and he said, what did you do in your life? He said, sir, all I did was transport people from one place to another with groceries and other items. He said, that beautiful golden palace with servants and food plentiful, you go and live there. The priest got very angry. He said, I did the work of God all my entire life. And you put me in this old wooden house and all he did was transport people from one place to another and you put him in that golden palace. How come? He said, sir, while you preached, people slept. And while he drove, people prayed. There's a beautiful song that we sing in Trinidad that embodies the theme of this retreat. And I'd like to share it. If Brother Venkat, we can put it on the screen. And the words are very simple, but very potent and powerful. The time to be happy is now. The place to be happy is here. And the way to be happy is to make others happy, and we'll have a little heaven down here. And that is what we've achieved in this retreat, isn't it? And I'd like us all to sing this together in bhajan style. The time to be happy is now. And the place to be happy is here. And the way to be happy is to make others happy, and we'll have a little heaven down here. Let's sing this with full-throated voices, feeling that joy in our hearts, because that is who we really are. So we're going to sing it a little faster. And let's all sing together. The time to be happy is now, right now. The place to be happy is here, right here. And the way to be happy is to make others happy, and we'll have a little heaven down here. One more time. The time to be happy is now, right now. And the place to be happy is here, right here. And the way to be happy is to make others happy, and we'll have a little heaven down here. And the way to be happy is to make others happy, and we'll have a little heaven down here. Brothers and sisters, I feel very privileged, honored, and humbled to have been part of this retreat and to listen with rapt attention to three wonderful guest speakers. I sat there like a sponge, soaking up the spirituality that emanated from their heart, from their consciousness, glorifying the name, the bounties, and the experience of Mother Sai. And I am eternally grateful for Mother Sai, for this experience, for not a blade of grass moves, and he has not willed it so. I've always looked upon Swami as my divine mother. And when I listened to Sister Seema, when Swami instructed her to give up her profession and become a mother, it resonated with my heart. Not only a mother, but a guru to her children. Swami once said, on the laps of mothers lie the future of our nation. If you want to judge the progress of a nation, look at its mothers. Are they self-sacrificing? Do they lead virtuous lives? Are they filled with humility? Do they practice human values? And if the answer is yes, we can be guaranteed that tomorrow's generation will be a value-based one. Mothers play a very important and key role when it comes to creating a value-based society. And when I listened to how Sister Seema, in her shared the human values, she had to become the example of what she wanted her children to become. And now you can see beautiful flowers of her children in Swami's garden. Evidence of how powerful the personal example is. Brothers and sisters, someone asked Swami once, Swami, why did you build the Anantapur Girls' College? And Swami built the Anantapur Girls' College before the Boys' College. And many gave many answers. And then Swami said, I built the Anantapur Girls' College to produce good mothers. If we have good mothers and we have good teachers, we're going to have good students. And if you have good students and good children, you're going to have a good society. There's a beautiful definition of a teacher. No written word, no spoken plea can teach young minds what men should be. No older books on older shelves but what the teachers are themselves. If one child in a class is bad, that is not so bad. If one teacher is bad, generations of children will become bad. And Bhagwan has said 99.9% of parents spoil their children. In 1986 in the EHV conference, Swami says the best way to teach EHV is to live it. So if we want to really experience happiness continuously, we must walk the talk, be the change, embody the values, be a good example. Brothers and sisters, I come from a broken home, a Muslim home. In my home, there was often physical and verbal abuse. But my mother was the glue that kept the family together. I learned from her, being my first teacher, my first guru, my first guide, and my everything in my life. She sacrificed her happiness so that there could be unity in the family. Every morning I would see her praying to Jesus the Christ for one thing, to restore family harmony. And I learned the power of prayer, sacrifice, and goodness from her. And though she has left the physical form, she continues to inspire me in my thought, word, and deed. Brothers and sisters, this is what Swami says about devotion to parents. The Vedas declare that the mother and the father have to be revered as divine. The mother is the first face that the child sees. Ma is the first syllable that the child utters. The agony of the mother at the loss of a child is something that is inconsolable. You will find in every home pictures of God kept in a special place for puja or worship. But let me tell you that in every home there are living gods whom the sages and saints want us to revere and worship. They are your parents. Think of all the care, all the sacrifice, all the sleepless nights that they have undergone and are presently undergoing for your sake. Swami warns, do not be rude and raw to them. Obey them, for they know much more of the world and its dangers than you do. Be soft and sweet in your speech. The mother is the goddess who has given us this body, this blood, this individuality, and as such she deserves all the veneration and worship that we can shower at her lotus feet. By disregarding your parents, Swami says, you will never be able to prosper in life. You may be able to repay back any debt, but the debt you owe to your mother, you will never, never be able to repay. Those of you who call yourselves devotees of God must have as the first credential the worship and reverence of the parents, especially the mother. And Swami personified that in his life with his devotion as the perfect son to his mother Mateshwarama, fulfilling all her wishes. And I remember when he went to Africa, every single day he would call Ishwaramma, Mateshwarama, to find about of her welfare, her health, and her well-being. Beloved devotees, Bhagwan says, when you serve the physical mother, the divine mother will bless you. When a mother blesses you, it is as if God has blessed you. So regardless of what age we may have, never, never forget your parents. Treat them with love, with dignity, with respect, and see the divinity in them. And when you serve your parents, everything else will be added on to you. There's a beautiful song in Trinidad that we sing to glorify the mother. It's a local song. Shall I sing it? A mother's love instruments, please. Sorry. You never forget the wrong things you do, child, you're bound to regret. Never treat your mother bad, never make her sad. Make your mother happy and glad, she'll never wish you bad. You never miss the water till the well run dry. Just like a mother when she closes her eyes. A mother's love you never forget. The wrong things you do, child, you're bound to regret. You may be the one they call the majesty. You may be the one having plenty money. You may be the one in high society. Don't be too proud to know whatever you may be. You may be having riches to comfort your soul, but your mother is the master key of this world. A mother's love you never forget. The wrong things you do, child, you're bound to regret. The wrong things you do, child, you're bound to regret. You know, I was requested to share my journey to Sai, which many of you all have heard before. But based on that request, I will summarize it. At the age of 16, even though I came from a home in which there was chaos, confusion, there was a pull towards God. And there were three questions that operated in my mind. Who am I? Where have I come from? And where am I going? And even though I came from an Islamic background where God is formless, I prayed to Almighty Allah to have a God that I could see and touch and feel and have a conversation with. And I know the ultimate is to realize the formless. But I needed this at this time. And I used to pray to Almighty Allah. And I started reading the books of the sages and the saints. Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Ramana Maharishi, Paramahansa Yogananda. And reading these books, the words themselves were filled with divine energy. When you read one sentence from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, it will take you into a different world, a world of devotion, where you could feel the presence of God in your heart. I built a little room at the back of the house and would spend hours in meditation, prayer, and studying of these wonderful saints and sages. But I used to inhabit the mosque in my village, and I met a brother 25 years, my senior. I was just 16 years then. And we used to have long discussions about God and spirituality and purpose. And one day he brings a book for me. And he said, Fize, I want you to read this book. When I look on the cover of the book, I see this bushy-head African-looking guy. And I said, Khalid, who is this? And emphatically, he says, this is God in human form. And I said, you must be crazy. How can you call him God? He's a mere mortal. Because in Islam, you don't associate partners with Almighty Allah. He said, Fize, read this book with an open mind. So I took Sathyam, Shivam, Sundaram home. And from the very first page that I read, I became attracted to the contents and read the entire book in one sitting. I read everything that I could find my hands on Satya Sai Baba thereafter. I spoke to Muslim devotees to reconcile how this formless Allah could be Satya Sai Baba. Satya Sai Baba saying, I am God, but you are God also, contradicted the very basis of Islamic teaching. Beloved devotees, I was confused for many months. So I went back into the mosque one day and I prayed to Almighty Allah. I said, Almighty Allah, show me the truth as to who Satya Sai Baba really is. And I was led back into the pages of the Holy Quran. In the Holy Quran, Allah says, Allah is closer to you than your jugular vein. So that means He's within. The Holy Prophet Muhammad, upon whom be peace, once said, he who knows himself knows God. But the verse, the line that caused a shift, a transformation, a different perspective within myself was what we call the Shahadat, the declaration of faith. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. The orthodox translation of this verse is that there is no God but Allah, and the Holy Prophet Muhammad is His messenger. But the Sufi mystics, the mystical men of Islam who've transcended religion, interprets the same verse, not that there is no God but Allah, but that there is nothing but Allah. Beloved devotees, the thirst, the desire, I'd read, I'd discussed, I'd gone to many Sai Baba centers. Now I wanted to see for myself. So in 1981, I made the first trip to Prasanthi Nilayam. Arrived Guru Purnima morning, was ushered quickly at the back of the Purnachandra hall, because Swami was just about to come out. I waited a few moments with my heart racing, not knowing what to expect. In this strange place I had found myself, and then the curtains parted and this 5-foot physical form dressed in an orange gown floated across the stage, and immediately I felt a connection. And then for the next 30 days, with Bhagwan presiding over the Overseas Bal Vikas Guru Training Course, with every darshan, with every message, with every interaction, with every manifestation of vibhuti, my doubts were being cleared and removed. And now I was beginning to see through the veils as to who Satya Sai Baba really is. And then I heard Satya Sai Baba had built a mosque for the Muslims, and this made my heart filled with joy. And I inquired where the mosque was and went and did namaz. A beautiful architectural gem Bhagwan had built for the Muslim who had to trek 4 miles to the nearest mosque in Bukkapattam. And beloved devotees, this is the mosque. And in 1978, for Eid-Ul-Fitr, which marks the end of the holy month of Ramadan, the day when you celebrate good over evil, when you've conquered the lower self, when you invite your brothers and sisters to come and share in the joy, Swami opened the mosque, materialized with a gentle wave of his hand, pendants that had Arabic inscriptions on them, and gave a most powerful message. I want to urge each and every one of you all to read this message. I share a little bit of what Swami said. He said, Ramzan is the month when the Holy Quran was revealed to the Holy Prophet Muhammad, upon whom be peace. It was a divine communication, a Bhagavad Vani, reaching him through waves of tarangas, of divine vibrations. The Vedas too were revealed in the same manner by God to the Rishis. The Quran contains expositions of the 5 vital principles of Pancha Prana, of human life: mercy, truth, sacrifice, love, and tolerance. These principles, really basic to the good life, are emphasized in all religions, in all religious texts of humanity. If one assimilates the truths declared in the Quran, they can live in full concord with all others. No religion, Bhagwan says, praises violence or falsehood. Devotees, when you dive deeper into the tenets of Islam, it has 5 fundamental principles: zakat or charity, prayer 5 times a day, believing in the oneness of Allah, the holy month of fasting, and then visiting the holy Kaaba at least once in your lifetime. And the beauty of these 5 cardinal principles can be related to Swami's human values and his teachings. If we look at the 5 pillars, The first pillar is Shahadat, God alone is. The Salah or the prayers promotes self-confidence. The fasting brings about self-satisfaction. Zakat or charity is self-sacrifice. And making that holy pilgrimage to Mecca is self-realization. The 5 values as the 5 pillars as human values. The daily prayers portray the value of peace. The holy month of fasting portrays the values of non-violence. The giving of alms or helping those in need, zakat, promotes right action. And visiting Hajj at least once in one's lifetime represents the love of Almighty Allah. So we see that all are one. Today, in the village of Puttaparthi, you can hear the holy call of the Muslims reverberating throughout the ashram, testifying to the oneness of the teachings of this Sai Allah. Brothers and sisters, just wanted to share 1 or 2 lessons learned at his divine lotus feet. Just to mention, when I came back from that trip in 1981, I was the vice president of the youth group, the Muslim youth group. I used to lead the namaz and call the holy call to prayer. When they heard that I had believed and had gone to meet Sri Satya Sai Baba, they now banned me from leading the namaz. They took away my position and I no longer could lead the namaz. After a while, I was excommunicated from the mosque. But I remained firm in the belief because I prayed to Almighty Allah to show me the truth of who Satya Sai Baba is. And to that I remained loyal and steadfast amidst condemnation and insults. Although Swami granted many interviews, devotees, one of the most priceless and blissful experiences I've ever had with him happened in the darshan line. Swami stood directly where I was in the darshan line, and with a gentle wave of his hand he materialized the sacred ash vibhuti. I stretched my palm out and Swami dropped the vibhuti in my palm. And suddenly something broke inside of me and tears started to flow. My whole being was consumed with a joy, a peace and a happiness that I never ever felt before. I was transfixed. I didn't know what was happening inside of me. I just sat on the ground from bhajans, from darshan to bhajans, and couldn't move, just absorbing that love, that bliss, that peace that came. And then Swami gave an extra blessing. During bhajans, he came back as the Divine Mother and blessed the japamala that I had in my hands. My joy and gratitude knew no bounds. Beloved devotees, the second most feared thing in the world is public speaking. And I had this tremendous fear of public speaking. In fact, in 1981, when I was asked to share the message in Trinidad of my experience of how a Muslim came to believe in Satya Sai Baba, I remember the first message I gave, my whole body was trembling. My heart was racing, I was perspiring, I got bad migraine headaches, and I prayed to Bhagwan, Swami, this cannot continue. In one interview, he said, you must have more confidence in the self. Beloved devotees, sometimes in life, a calamity can become a blessing. Challenges are opportunities for growth to come closer to that inner Sai. One day I was doing a message for Navaratri, and one of my very, very good friends the next morning, 7:30, woke me up and began to criticize the manner in which I gave the talk. Why do you have to speak off the cuff? Why don't you read Baba discourses? This evangelical way of speaking doesn't appeal to him. And it hurt my heart because he was a very good friend of mine. On the next trip to Prasanthi Nilayam, Swami granted a group interview to the devotees. And I said, Swami, may I speak with you privately? Very lovingly. He said, Acha, Acha, go. And in the inner interview room, Swami took these two fingers, and with so much love, he pinched my cheek. And he said, you must speak on Sai experience and morality. I will never forget any word that my loving Lord has ever told me. Then I said, Swami, there are some who do not approve of the way I speak. Then Bhagwan took this index finger, placed it where the heart chakra is, and he pressed it hard, very, very hard. And he said, you go and speak, and I will be there inside you. And forgive me for my language. And then I said, to hell with everybody else. I'm following the master, facing the devil, fighting to the end, and finishing the game. Brothers and sisters, I'd like to share a little bit about the Trinidad experience. And Brother Ramesh spoke so beautifully about seva. Bhagwan once told a devotee, there's a little island in the Caribbean that is the jewel of my eye. It's Trinidad. Charles Penn, when he was asked to do a retreat in 1981, that beautiful devotee who wrote this book, My Beloved, he prayed to Bhagwan for guidance, and Swami showed it to him like this. He said, Trinidad and Tobago. Tobago means to Baba go. We have approximately 40 centers and 1.4 million people. There's a center in almost every village. You can go to a Sai Baba satsang every single day of the week. If you want to get liberation quickly, we have 4 radio stations that transmit Bhagwan's birth, life and teachings, 1 hour per week per station. There's a national television station that shows in video form his life, his mission, his purpose, his message. We build a house for a needy family every single Sunday in 2 weeks. Bhagwan himself has blessed this project. Remember in Haiti in 2010 when the earthquake hit and 250,000 people died, Dr. Goldstein asked Swami if the Trinidad organization can go and build houses. Swami says, I bless, I bless, I bless, let them go. Devotees, I just want to share, because of time, a little video of how these houses are built. We identify needy families. Then we construct a concrete foundation depending on the size of the family. And then the next week it is cured for 1 week. 40 to 50 young adults filled with devotion, filled with enthusiasm, filled with happiness and eagerness. They gather at 6 in the morning and we chant the Gayatri mantra 3 times. At 6 o'clock in the morning, and by 8 o'clock the house is finished. Fully furnished. Made out of white timber that can withstand hurricane winds of 250 miles an hour. Devotees, the humility and gratitude of the recipients. They break down and cried, and one person said, only God can do this. And we tell them, we share with them, that we've not come to build houses, we've come to share love. Everybody in Trinidad knows about Sri Satya Sai Baba. Even the government ministers, they come and they help. Members of the community are inspired by this seva. Bhagwan once said about seva, 1 hour of community service is better than 1 month of meditation. Hands that help are holier than lips that pray. A pure thought from a pure heart is better than a mantra. Never feel that when you're engaged in service, you are changing anyone, you're reforming anyone. He says that may or may not happen. That is not important. He says the real value of service is that it reforms and reshapes you, the individual. And seva as Dr. Ramesh said, is very, very close to Swami's heart. Mother Teresa said, do small acts of kindness with a big heart, a heart filled with love, a heart filled with gratitude. So I'll do a little commentary as we and this is one of the areas where the house is built. It's a 3-bedroom house including kitchen, living area with attached toilet and bath. And it's also, we provide electricity and toilet facilities for them. And here gladly, happily, they're putting up the structure. Each one working in unity, in love and in togetherness. Beloved devotees, it's primarily young adults and each one is trained in a particular aspect of building the house. So when we come together, it's clinically done, it's lovingly done. Some are on the roof, some are on the ground, some are putting up the windows. And here we are furnishing the house with beds, with wardrobes, with stoves, with vinyl, depending on the family. Groceries are also given to the families. Here everyone finds something to do. And then this is the needy family. In fact, they are not shown where the house is. So when the house is being built, they are kept away. So when they come and they see in 2 hours, this house has gone up, they are totally shocked. Can we get a little volume? Little volume? No? So the family is being given a little tour of the house. They have children. And devotees, if you see where these families have lived before, inhuman conditions. And then we do a little blessing of the house. We do 3 ohms, we do a Muslim song, a Christian song, and a bhajan because of the culture of Trinidad and Tobago. The gentleman in the wheelchair is the one who the house is being presented to with his family.
Very simple. There is only one religion. That religion is love. There is only one race. It is a human race. There is only one God. And this here is God. What you feel now is God. Can an ant tell you the depth of the ocean? But yet still man wants to tell you about how the glories of God are and where you should be. We should only know what we could experience and hold that to be true once it affects your heart. Once it's here, you hold on to that regardless of what anybody else says. So the feeling you feel now, This might be one of the closest connection you could get to God. That is pure love.
For including me and for let us know. It's amazing. I just, no words.
As he said, none of this is coincidence. Whatever you did to get you on your journey here, it's a fresh start, and take that same momentum that brought you here to keep you going.
Thank you for letting me do this. It was really nice. And, yeah.
So it's not me thanking, eh? It's yourself you're thanking for overcoming that thing inside of us that says, let me sleep a little bit. It's a Sunday, let me relax. It's your own self.
Thank you, Chen, and I ask God to bless all and guide only and give all the strength to help others. And I'm so thankful and happy that all these years I never had nothing. And today I thank each and everyone out here to help me. And I'm so happy and joyful. I know I have words to say. Rain and sun and everything we create. And we make it. And today each and everyone out here make me happy.
First of all, everybody here, welcome to the home here, our home, me and the madam, and the children. And I would like to say that on behalf of the madam and myself and the children, thank you all very much.
Good, Uncle, good. It's alright. So, they went through a lot in their lives, but when I came here, I knew this was one of the family that deserved that God is not for us to judge, but sometimes you go and you have to try your best to try to get a feel of the things. Once I saw Uncle where he was that day, and he ready to get up and come and meet me and move it was, you have a wonderful energy, whatever it is. Your body will fall, that's alright. Your energy, your spirit, that will never fall. Right? Remember that. The energy within you. This body is temporary. And that's like a vessel. You use a car, you move from here to there, when you come out of the car, that's the end of the car. But you, that energy that is love, let it remain. To the two sons here, you may be going through some hard times and different things, different challenges. This love you feel in here, try to hold on to it to overcome whatever is your problems you have to face outside. Alright. Everybody get one bunch, all of you have one bunch of cake. So I can come into our own door.
Thank you all very much.
In heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever.
Beloved devotees, I leave this verse of Swami in his own words as he brings this message to an end. This is a message that Swami gave to the college students in 1977. And this is what he said: no matter where you go, always do your duty as you see it, and know that I will be there inside you, guiding you every step of the way. In the years to come, you will experience me in many different manifestations of my form. You are my very own, dearer than dear to me. I will protect you like the eyelids protect the eyes. From this moment on, do not hanker after anything. Do your duty with unwavering love, seeing all as God. Be patient. In time, everything will be given to you. Be happy. There is no need to worry about anything. Whatever happens, know that this avatar has willed it so. There is no force on earth which can delay for an instant the mission for which this avatar has come. And you will all have your parts to play in the unfolding drama of the new golden age that is coming. Brother Pradosh, can I sing one song? You know, this particular song is the first one when I came into the Sai organization. I sang Dum 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 Damaru Baje until people started to say, look, Dum Dum coming. So please join with me with love, with this heartfelt gratitude and thanks to our beloved Mother Sai, who is our very self. As Brother Rami said, Swami said, I separated myself from myself in order to love myself. So love is the path, love is the source, love is everything. So let's sing and clap in this joyful gratitude. Dum 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 Damaru Baje. Dum 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 Damaru Baje. Bholenath Shiva Damaru Baje. Hare Bholenath, Hare Bholenath Shiva Damaru Baje. Hare Sai Nath Shiva Shambho Baje. Hare Sai Nath Shiva Shambho Baje. Shiva 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 Damaru Baje. Shiva 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 Damaru Baje. Bholenath Shiva Damaru Baje. Hare Hare Sai Nath Shiva Shambho Baje. Dum 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 Damaru Baje. Dum 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 Damaru Baje. Bholenath Shiva Damaru Baje. Hare Bholenath Shiva Damaru Baje. Hare Sai Nath Shiva Shambho Baje. Hare Sai Nath Shiva Shambho Baje. Shiva 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 Damaru Baje. Shiva 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 Damaru Baje. Baba Damaru Baje. Baba Damaru Baje. Sai Damaru Baje. Sai Damaru Baje. Shiva 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 Damaru Baje. Bholenath Shiva Damaru Baje. Hare Hare Sai Nath Shiva Shambho Baje. Hare Sai Nath Shiva Shambho Baje. Dum 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 Damaru Baje. Bholenath Shiva Shambho Baje. May Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba continue to bless and guide each and every one of us. And as we aspire on this spiritual path, let our fervent and heartfelt prayer be that we will continuously strive to be wonderful examples of His love and service. Jai Sai Ram.